Hi everyone. Hello and welcome to the Do-It-Yourself Guide to Wine Tasting. I'm here to talk about wine appreciation today and about different stages of learning about wine. The stages of learning involve learning how to correctly taste wine, identifying, describing, and discussing about various grape varieties, recording the information, learning about what food and wine goes together, and about how different glasses are used for different wines so that the wines taste better. Then, as we learn more about wine tasting and understanding grape varieties and their characteristics, you will develop the knowledge in recalling the types of grape varieties and how they taste. You will also recognize, compare, and describe differences in tastes and how that affect your palate. And ideally, you can express your own opinion about wines that you like or don't like. I've outlined in the following course 3 levels of wine knowledge to separate and give distinction for you as a learner. These 3 basic building blocks are used in building a framework at appreciating wines for further personal comprehension and understanding. You'll find that these levels overlap, and that is because our knowledge is usually based on our interests and the time we can give it, and whether or not we want to expand our knowledge to go past what we already know. In the learning outcome, we will develop a wine vocabulary. Crisp, clean, fresh, lean, big, and bold are some of the words I'll be using that relates to wines and describes what a wine tastes like. We often use the actual names of fruit, such as limes and lemons, peaches and pears, to describe wine styles. We may also use herbs and spices, such as vanilla, aniseed, and cinnamon, to identify certain aspects of wines. And by using images, we learn to recognize and recall these descriptions when tasting and learning about wines. This is because learning about wines is not just thinking, seeing, and saying. It's also about smelling and tasting and expressing. And often, pictures helps you to recognize what you are tasting and helps in naming them. What materials do we need to prepare for this skill? To start with, you will need a wine glass with a stem, a white wine or a red wine. Try a Chardonnay, a Shiraz, or a Sauvignon Blanc to start with. A sheet of paper, some pens and notebook, or a laptop. Some bland food like water crackers, and a list of words to help you express and identify wine styles. These are wine descriptions you can download from the internet. How and where do you perform these skills? Well, we can do this by ourselves. You can set it up with friends or so that you can share expenses. You can attend a class in your local area. You can find help from someone with wine knowledge who will share and help you develop yours. You can download instructions online and follow it at home. And you can do all these at your own pace. How do you taste wine? First, pour some wine into your glass. About a third of a glass will do. Firmly hold the stem of the wine glass at the base and swirl it around the wine glass. This process is called aeration or opening the wine. You bring the wine glass to your nose and deeply inhale through your nose. The process of inhale and swirling of wine glass can be repeated a number of times before the actual tasting of wine. When you're tasting a wine, take a generous sip of wine from the glass. Swirl the wine gently around your mouth. Let the wine fall down the side of your tongue and swallow the wine, or you can spit it out. When you're developing this skill, it's about how much practice and how you practice your wine, how you recall what different grape varieties taste like. And as you begin to identify these different wine styles, you will start expressing how they will develop and what characteristics they have. Taking notes will help cover key points for you to remember. Take a picture of the wine label on your phone, and you can also use note-taking apps that you can download online and paste the picture of the wine on it. Make sure to separate each wine as you start to make notes on them. Broadly speaking, white wines are made with the white skin or green skin color grapes, and red wines are usually made from red grapes. That's because the skin of the grapes is what gives the wine its color. When wine juice is left to soak with the red-colored skin for some time, the juice turns red, making it into a red wine. This is part of the fermentation process. The main varieties of wine on the market are Chardonnay, Sauvignon Blanc, Rieslings in white wines, Shiraz and Cabernet Sauvignon in red wines. There are many grape varieties available in Australia and all over the world that we can try as we develop our taste buds. What are the differences in wine glasses? Well, Chardonnay and Shiraz wine glasses have a wider and broader base. This is because the wine style is bigger and bolder, and the larger area helps open the wine and gives the wine more room to breathe. It also helps put air into the wine so that the flavor of the wines comes out. Sparkling wines, on the other hand, is drunk with a long and narrow glass called a flute. It allows you to see the bubbles rising from the bottom to the top of the glass. In this case, the term we can use to describe bubbles is bead, and beading is how bubbles rise to the top. There are different wine terminologies, such as strawberries, raspberries, blueberries, and cherries. The terms we use to describe wines. They're not actually in the wine. They're just characteristics of a wine. Grapes can take on flavors from the environment and around them as well, and many bacteria influences the style and flavors of wines. So sometimes we use easily identifiable expressions relating to food to describe wine styles, such as peppery, toasty, and buttery. A lot of wine terms can be found online, so I'd encourage you to download a few of them for your reference. In summary, wine appreciation is not just about learning to drink different wines. It's only the start. The outcome is quite different because there are no set rules and no set criteria. Different people drinking the same wines will have different opinions that can be vastly different from each other. There are no right or wrong answers in judging wines. For me, it's about choosing a wine for a purpose, like enjoying it by yourself, or for an occasion like taking it to a party, or for an event like a celebration. I hope that you enjoyed this short tutorial on wine appreciation with me. That will help you get started on a wine journey of your own. Remember, it's a journey, one that you can enjoy as you learn on the job. See you soon.